In this Star Wars Outlaws news update video, I will be sharing with you the patch notes of today's new update, Title Update 2. Plus we'll have a bunch more news as well towards the end of the video. But before we do take a look at everything though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Outlaws. And here's a quick message from my sponsor, Instant Gaming, who offer all the games you want at a great discount. They are fast, reliable, and are even hosting a giveaway for my viewers, so click the links down below in the description to enter and purchase games. So last week I made a video sharing that Title Update 2 would be releasing today, Thursday, October 3rd, and have a focus on bug fixes and improvements, and this update certainly does that, but it does have some key highlights that you will want to know about. For example, they have improved the stealth gameplay, the speeder camera, and more. I will kick things off with the download and install sizes, then move on to the full patch notes. In terms of download size, the update comes in at 4.69GB on Xbox, and on PC it is 5.49GB, and PS5 is 3.9GB. The total file size on Xbox has been increased by a little bit. It's now 52.6GB, which isn't too much to be honest considering game file sizes these days, and on PC it is 56.4. Onto the patch notes themselves, and they have improved stability and performance across all platforms, but specifically some FPS drops with Intel Arc GPUs. They've also added VRAM impact to the RTX Di usage. You can see this in the updated VRAM usage bar, which I am showing here compared to the previous patch, and there are different shades of blue to determine the various sections. Now for some gameplay improvements. So they've improved Kay's movement animations, along with scaled the AI reaction to environmental actions from investigation to combat, so when Nyx detonates an NPC's grenade more than once. They've reduced the adrenaline gain when using melee, and added a quick throw button for using grenades. They've improved conflicts when crouching near ledges, when the camera is facing the opposite direction, and reduced detection chances when using cover. They've improved the speeder controls when using a mouse, and added a tutorial reminder for the blaster's stun module. Improved elements of the Death Trooper event, improved sniper rifle sensitivity, improved speeder collision with environment to reduce being knocked off the speeder. That's great. Added the ability to press jump twice when near a grapple point to activate it. Improved animations after takedowns. Improved melee animations when punching an enemy wearing a helmet. Fixed an issue where Kay wouldn't receive any damage from enemy blasters. And then they have fixed a bunch of issues, as you can see, when it comes to Kay, NPCs, and Nyx. There is so much going on here. It's quite a lot of bug fixes in this update. Now on to UI, HUD and settings. So they've added syndicate names to individual contracts, improved the flow on individual expert screens to view abilities as they become ready to unlock. They've updated the description of gear sets to match their effects. They've changed the default setting for the speeder to keyboard rather than mouse on PC. They've improved in-game menus and scrolling, and descriptive text when interacting with vendors that require certain syndicate reputation. And then a few more fixes as well in that department. In terms of graphics, they have improved the performance of VRAM, RTX, Di, frame generation, and ray reconstruction. They've also improved lighting during nighttime planetary takeoffs, improved environmental terrain and foliage, plus a bunch of fixes including flickering when frame generation was on and stuff like that. I'm still getting some flickering going on Mos Eisley with frame gen off, so hopefully that is fixed in the next update. They've also improved the ground texture being very low quality. That happened so much to me on Tatooine, so I'm glad that has been fixed. In the audio department, they have actually added additional background dialogue to improve immersion, which is great, and adjusted audio levels of environmental objects and player and NPC reactions, plus improved multiple music and ambient transitions in quests and open world, and that comes with a bunch of other fixes as well. Sticking with the theme of audio, they have made cinematics better, so they've improved narration, dialogue scenes, voiceovers, and lip syncing, which has annoyed people since the beginning. And specifically for the camera, they have improved camera positioning when Kay is in low cover, shooting and climbing, and the position of the speeder camera when the FOV was increased, which is great to hear. For worlds, fauna and flora, they have improved Kay's hair animations during different rain types, so that's nice, and fixed vendor idle animations that were missing for some locations, and improved K's awareness around waterfalls and rain. A bunch of bugs have been squashed in Sabacc, so I know a lot of you out there are playing Sabacc and spending a lot of time in it, so all of these bugs related to Sabacc have been fixed. They've also fixed a bunch of issues in photo mode, but I will also mention they have actually added something to it which was not listed in the patch notes. I can show you the difference between how it has looked since launch until today's patch. It only displayed a single value for the focal length, but now it has the focal length range and f-stop. In terms of accessibility, which is always important to take note of, they have added the large and bold font options for subtitles. They've moved overheard subtitles directional arrow to the right hand side of the container, and added an auto accelerate and brake to the auto walk button. A prompt was also added to the first time user experience to enable large fonts, and added the option to auto mantle and vault over small objects. The menu narration order was updated to provide information in a more logical order, added additional increments for the speed and mouse sensitivity, and added adrenaline rush timer setting to allow double or triple time for picking targets, and updated the tutorial text regarding accessibility options for Sabacc and a couple of other bug fixes. They've also added a warning when spending a large amount of credits to avoid doing so by mistake. I guess some people have had issues doing that. And they've also improved K's gun holster animation among various other bug fixes, including where K closed the wrong eye when aiming down sights. They've also made a bunch of fixes to the main quests as well as side quests, so if you have had some issues progressing or such doing some of these missions, there might be some fixes in here that sort out your game. I've seen on Reddit a bunch of people say, yep, their issues have now been resolved with this patch. Of course, this is not where the work stops, there is still a bunch more to do, and Title Update 3 does come out on October 24th, so in just a few weeks from now, and that will have more bug fixes, but will focus on quality of life improvements. Something that isn't in the patch notes but has been fixed is the unlimited stun gun glitch. So I made a video on this a few weeks ago, where basically if you changed the customization paint of your blaster, it would reset the cooldown of your stun. So you basically had unlimited stun, you just had to keep pausing the game and changing the paint. That has now been fixed in Title Update 2, so we can't abuse that anymore. Now for a small update for something that I talked about in a previous news update video. So I discussed how players have been noticing that Star Wars Outlaws was showing up in a section on the PlayStation 5 dashboard for PS5 Pro Enhanced games. Well, you can now see the PS5 Pro Enhanced tag on the store page for Star Wars Outlaws. That's further confirmation that this game will receive some PS5 Pro enhancements when the console does launch in November. Ubisoft and Massive have not officially confirmed themselves that this is happening, nor what will change in that PS5 Pro Enhanced version, so we'll just have to wait and see. I also wanted to call out the Steam store page for the game has gone live, so the game is launching on the 21st of November on Steam, so if you do want to add it to your wish list or just follow it for more updates and things like that, you can now visit the Steam store page. Plus, it does confirm there will be Steam achievements, so if you're interested in Steam achievements, this game will have them. Also, with this game being on Steam, we're able to see the back end and see what patches are in the works in the future once the game has launched, which is great. Next up, I wanted to share with you some updated sales figures for this game, which is coming from Insider Gaming, who tend to be quite reputable, especially when it comes to Ubisoft stuff. So they say in the first month, Star Wars Outlaws sold just over 1 million copies worldwide, which is not great for a Star Wars game. That said, another key component people keep missing out is that we know many people purchased a month of Ubisoft Plus and then have an intention to buy the game this month or next month or beyond. I know many people personally, as well as people in my audience, that are doing just that. So I would expect to see an uptick this month. It's not going to just completely stop at 1 million. Plus the game will be releasing on Steam next month, which will definitely improve sales on the PC side of things. The DLC will also bolster excitement around the game. People will want to check it out now there's a DLC. So it's not all doom and gloom, even though it is disappointing, especially compared to other Star Wars games, and this being an open world Star Wars game, something that fans have been clamouring for a long time. They've been asking for it. And I think what this says to publishers is people will ask for something for years, and then when they are given it, they decide not to buy it. And some of them for some stupid reasons, such as Kay being the main character. I also wanted to shout out all of this incredible artwork that the developers have been able to publish over on ArtStation. So as you can see, hundreds of pieces of artwork are now live, including mostly concept art pieces. So you can see things that were different to what we got in the final game, and the development process behind various things, from character models and designs to the Trailblazer to enemies, NPCs, and of course the various planets. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything I've talked about in this video, so please do let me know down in the comment section below, and remember to drop a like to help support the channel. Subscribe so you don't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Outlaws, and if you did miss any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.